Hi, welcome to another episode on our channel. And in this one we'll be looking at the technique Kokyunage more in a general way. And we want to focus we want to talk about a few mistakes that we usually see, especially with beginners. And that should be actually avoided when doing this technique. So stay tuned and we'll show you a few examples of what not to do in Kokyunage.
So let's take a look at a couple of things to be careful of when you're doing Kokyunage. We're going to talk about a few general things, and we're going to start off with a simple technique, katate dori Kokyunage. One thing that you might be careful of is just in the very, very beginning, not quite aligning up with your partner. So if I'm turning here, the tendency is to try to do something too quickly here. I'm not really fully including my partner from the beginning. I haven't really lined up with wherever he's going. And so I ended up just trying to pull him or something like that. And I'm in a pretty bad position. So people will turn maybe not enough. They don't line up. And they totally miss the whole beginning to be able to connect with their partner. Okay? So that's one. For another one then, on that same token here, if we're doing this, when I turn, if I'm doing this katate dori here and I just go straight forward, I kind of pull my partner and he's stable, and then I just kind of lose my partner. I haven't really connected to him, I haven't included him. If I'm doing this and instead of, when I do move forward, a lot of people, what happens here is they focus on the hands and they just see the hands go up and down, which honestly, it doesn't really capture my partner either. It might make him more angry than anything else, just kind of whipping him around. So when you do that, you really want to find a position where you're going to move into your partner and connecting with the whole body. So let's show it then a little bit to the camera so that you see this. Here, if I turn and I just go forward without my partner, then I leave him behind, right? On the other token here, if I'm here, and I move, I just cut with my hands, then it doesn't really do much to my partner. So when I have him, I need to move in such a way that I've connected into his space and all the way down to his feet. Okay, so you want to have that body-to-body, center-to-center connection with Kokyunage. There's something very interesting that happens with Ryote Dori when we're actually using two hands. And this sort of center-to-center connection becomes very, very apparent when we're doing this. If he's here and he pushes and I try to turn and try to throw him beforehand, then I actually either end up having to try to pull him or I get out of center, yes, and then he can basically take over. So when we're doing that, then you want to stay center to center. Be careful not to get the hand up too high or anything like that. Another one that you can be careful of, for example, with a Ryote Dori Kokyunage, is when we're here and we've lined up with our partner, what happens sometimes is as people start to do their sort of Kokyunage technique, then at the very last moment they'll tend to go around or they'll tend to go over, and they don't really include their partner. Okay, so let me show that to you from the camera angle here. So when I'm here in front, then as I start to do the Kokyunage, then I just either go over my partner or I take it around, trying not to bother my partner. But in fact, when I drop, I want to actually go through my partner there. If you know of any other difficulties or places where you need to kind of be careful in Kokyunage, leave us the comments below, and we'll get to those. There are plenty of other things to be careful of when you're doing Kokyunage. It's a very subtle technique, so we'll look forward to looking at your comments.